It's time. It's time. You know what? It's December. Hey my little raggities, what is up? How are y'all doing? How are y'all feeling, honey? Shimmy, shimmy. It is December. Finally, we are done with 2024. Okay, we're out of here. We're on the next bus smoking. Hopefully, it's not a Greyhound, but we're on our way to bigger and better things. Okay. If you are new here, I'm Raina Swan, aka Big Raggedy, aka Big Booty Bestie, aka Raina. Thank you for being here. This month I am doing Bookmas, aka Vlogmas or whatever. But it's not just gonna be like vlogs, of course. This is a book channel. But I do plan on doing something every day. So whether it's posting a short, whether it's posting in our little community section, the tabs, or whatever over there, or just posting a vlog or sit down video with you guys. So, and then I feel like since it is December, I should do like maybe some gift giving. I don't know, because I don't know. We'll see how I feel. I might be a little Grinch this year. Who knows? So yeah, I read 12 books in November. So we're going to talk about them. I'm going to tell you the rating. I have my iPad here and let's just get into it. So top of the month, we started off a little shaky. Quite honestly, if I'm being for real, I don't really remember this first book. I remember it, and I remember what happened at the end, but the in between is a little foggy. So, first up, we have Ruined Road. Get into it. Gorgeous cover, right? Right. Okay. So, NetGalley approved me for this. And I was so excited about it, but then when I really just sat down, when I sat in my spirit told me that I was not ready to read this, but I just had to push through. Eventually I did get the audiobook and I was able to do the audiobook, and I gave it 3 stars. Like I said, I can tell you what it's about based on the synopsis, but that's it without me spoiling it for you. So basically, you have Cade. He's an amazing football player, and the only thing that's really troubling him is his skin color. He is tired of people in the outside world being afraid of him, judging him, automatically deeming him as a threat. He also goes through some very sad things in his home life. And, one day he has an unfortunate encounter with the police which leads him to visit like a thrift shop. And he makes a little purchase or whatever, and he's venting to the person that works there, and he's telling the person that works there, like, man, I just wish people stop being so afraid of me, and I just wish that I just didn't have all this fear. And so that triggered something to where he just started feeling so empowered and so fearless, and that same fearlessness spread to the people around him, and then crazy things started happening because people were just so fearless. And then in the midst of that, there's some sort of like evil lurking in the midst. Y'all, it just felt like 2 stories colliding. It did. But you know what I will say? The characters didn't feel like characters. They felt like people, you know. They felt like kids. So I will say Lamar Gills did a really excellent job of making his characters feel real and making you feel emotion for what they were going through. So that's that. Yeah. I know a lot of y'all read this already. What did you give it? Because a lot of us was giving it 3 stars. And it was really given. I don't know. Let's just move on. Okay, so next up, I did read The Perfect Ruin. Yes. I talked about that already on my channel earlier in the month, and I enjoyed it. I did. I always say it gave what I thought, what the hell that book is called? What is it called? Because I'm really drawing a blank. I know it's up there. What's that book? Oh, While We Were Burning. It really gave what I thought While We Were Burning was gonna give, but While We Were Burning wasn't bad either. It just was painfully slow. This one was cool, but it had some ridiculous moments where I was just like, girl, you kind of doing a lot. But the twist is what saved it for me. I was not expecting that. I do see myself reading more Sonora Williams because, I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, like I said. But basically, it was... Okay, so it was about Ivy Hill, whose life just took a very drastic turn, and she lost a lot early on in life. And as she got older, she remembered who was the cause of that. And it was, what's her name? Lola. Lola was the cause of Ivy feeling like she lost it all. And so this is a book about revenge. And, I like a good revenge plot. It wasn't bad. It was, like I said, that ending saved it. So we're going to move on because we have 12 books here. We ain't trying to be here all day. Okay, so next up we have Long After We're Gone. Okay. Tara girl, let me just start out by saying, baby, less is more. We don't need every single detail. We don't need it. I feel like the editors ain't editing like they used to, because or maybe they was never really editing out stuff for real. I don't know. But I feel like, it was cool. None of the characters were really likable, which can be hard sometimes because you want to feel some sort of connection to the characters, because it encourages you to keep going, right? But y'all, one of the sisters was embezzling money. I'm just like, and she was a little snobby. Another sister, she struggled with her image. So it's like, oh, but it's just like, okay, oh. She had a moment where I was like, oh, but okay. You had another brother. He was in the closet. These are not spoilers. These are all in the synopsis. He was in the closet, and it was like, oh. And I was like, okay. It's not really a moment. It's just like, okay, hop your ass out there and tell these people the truth. And then you have another brother. He had anger issues, and it was just like, calm down, calm down. Sit down somewhere. And then the daddy, I was just like, why you didn't handle your business before you was on your deathbed? Like, that's another, that like y'all gotta stop doing that. Y'all gotta stop dying on us and then leaving us to handle all this bullshit. Like, what? Get your shit in order. Don't wait till you on your deathbed and talk about, don't let the white man take my house. No, you shouldn't have let the white man take your, why? Where's the paperwork? Why we gotta do all of this stuff because you didn't have your stuff in order? Now you're dead. And you think you about to haunt me because I can't say the house, or I'm trying to say the house, and the house, you done did XYZ, your brother is shady. Your family's shady. Can't trust nobody. Like, what is happening? So y'all gotta get y'all wheels and stuff in order, because y'all be stressing people out when y'all kick the bucket. That's the message. If I didn't learn nothing else from this book, I learned have your ducks in a row. Don't be afraid to talk about death. Find somebody you feel comfortable with and tell them, hey, don't you put no damn doves on my obituary. Okay? So you gotta tell people what you want, because we not gonna be here forever, okay? You got to tell, don't spray paint me on nothing. Tell somebody. Don't have your family stressed out. Okay? That's it. That's the message. We're gonna move on. I gave it 3 stars. Next, Eric Jerome Dickey's Between Lovers. Now, listen. You know, maybe I should just start with his earlier work, but which is funny because a lot of people say that they preferred, not his earlier work, his later work. A lot of people say that they prefer his earlier books, like when he first came out or whatever. But I'm like, maybe it's just not for me. So I read Between Lovers, and I don't know why, because I'm not even like a romance girly for real, but I wouldn't even say this was a romance book. This was a greedy love triangle. And for the life of me, I could not understand why the male main character and the female side character was going after the main female character, because quite frankly, she had the personality of a microwave. I just could not for the life of me understand, like, what is it? The cooter cat? I need to know. Maybe it's the cooter cat, because from what I'm reading, there's nothing there. Nothing that would make me want to be in a love triangle willingly. So I didn't like it. And then it was filled with sex. That was the plot. 6. Okay? 6 was the plot. And I was like, okay, I don't want to read bumping and grinding. Every chapter we bumping and grinding. Every chapter we getting it in for pages. I could not. We gonna move on. I gave it 2 stars. Yeah. So, and then them hoes on Facebook. Now I'm sorry. Let me not call them that. Those kind ladies over on Facebook told me to start with this one. What's wrong with y'all? I'm gonna just write Santa and ask him to give y'all a rose, because I feel like that's what y'all need. Y'all just need a little gasm, because why is y'all recommending this to me? I read thrillers. Anywho, we just gonna move on. Like I said, the beginning of the month was really shaky. Next up, we have Promise Broken. This is another one that felt like 2 stories colliding. Just clashing. Missing each other. Not coming together cohesively at all. Quite frankly, I don't even remember what it's about. I gave it 3 stars though. I did. For some reason, I don't. Okay, and it was like um it was like a YA urban fiction. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, okay. This for the hood babies in the world. Okay, so Promise mother, she dies in a tragic car accident. It leaves a void in her life after that she's yearning to fill. Yeah, Promise is spiraling into a life of crime and drug affiliation by the company she chooses to keep. Also coping with abandonment and a lifelong broken commitment from her biological father. Promise ultimately has two goals: to graduate from high school and to be loved. But can she find the love that she seeks from her Aunt Dale, two best friends, Mouse and Keys, or drug dealer Asher, the man who captivates her, despite the fact that each relationship will lead to life-altering events. Only time will tell. If y'all think I'm reading part 2, I'm not. Next. Then I read No Reservations. Here we go. Great value. Wait and exhale. Great value, wait and exhale. It's going to teach you to cherish your friendships. It's going to teach you to love the ones who are near to you. But I gave it 3 stars. So basically you have one friend, she is diagnosed with terminal cancer, and she sets up a trip to, I think, Jamaica, for her friends to go because they never got to do their trip to Jamaica like they had planned. And so, you know, each of the 3 friends, they're grieving the loss of her. And in the midst of that, they're all going through, you know, different things. Like one, she was dealing with fertility issues. Another, you know, she was dealing with dreams and aspirations of having her own business, but her husband was an idiot. Another one was just dealing with singlehood, if that's the term we use nowadays, or singleness, and the fear of loving again because she had her heart broken. And so we get to see them deal with it, grow through it, and ultimately come together to support one another and during the time of their grief. I feel like the premise and the idea for the story is really, really good. But like I said, it just read like a waiting to exhale book, you know. I gave it 3 stars. We're going to move on because it's getting better. Okay. So then I was like, let me just dive onto these arcs because clearly the books on my shelf is just for display. Okay. So I read the arc. Let me see what date this come out. Oh, it come out December 10th. Look at us. Okay. We right on time. I read What the Woods Took by Courtney Good. And y'all, when I say that I really enjoyed this book, I really enjoyed this book. Now, I wouldn't say it's a slow burn because it does have moments where it's like, okay, the dialogue is a bit combative and dramatic. So that's the entertainment factor. But we don't really get the horror and the supernatural elements until we really keep pushing forward. Okay, just trust the process. If you enjoyed A Mask of Flies, I feel like you would enjoy this because it's kind of like a YA version of A Mask of Flies. And I love that for the childrens of the world. I enjoyed it. I feel like Courtney did a really good job with the character development because you get to see them at first as like troubled kids and you don't really know what they all went through or why they're all there First of all, let me back up because I'm just talking like y'all know the synopsis. Basically, the main female character, she's kidnapped in the middle of the night and thrown into a van with another young boy who's going to the same destination as her. They are going to not a retreat, but like a camp for troubled teens where they're supposed to do several different tasks and projects and obstacles to kind of prepare them for being a better person. So it's kind of like boot camp, but not as extreme. And in the midst of that, their camp counselors just go missing. And so they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. How are we getting out of here? We don't know how we got here. We don't know where we at. We don't even know if we're in the same state. Like, where are we? They don't know. And so they're trying to figure out what's going on. In the midst of that, some spooky stuff starts popping off. And so, y'all, the way Courtney wrote each character, you start to feel for each one, and you get to see like how the effects of not caring for children early on and the effects of not having a trusting relationship with your kids is really damaging, because it's so crazy that this would be a horror novel, but in the same hand, there's so much emotion involved in it, and you just feel for them, and you almost feel sad in a sense, because it's like, damn, like if they could just have the love that they need, they wouldn't be here. It's really good. So add that to your list, girl. Add it to your list, partner, homie. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. I wrote a review on Instagram if you want to check that out. Go over to Renna.Swan. And Courtney is in my comments like, oh, thank you. This is so sweet. And I'm like, you're welcome, girl. You did your thing. So yeah, 5 stars. Moving on. Next up, we have Who's That Girl? A memoir by Eve N. I did not rate this because I got into a point in my life where I just stopped rating people's lives, their real lives. I will say that we do find a little new information about Eve, but for the most part, we kind of know all of these things that she's talking about in this book. And I feel like people would read it because they want to know about her relationship with Stevie J and all the like salacious things that happened when she was dating him. But she don't even talk about that, y'all. She kind of hints that there is a certain person that did a certain thing, and she knows who it was and who did it, and you know, someone helped her out to solve that issue. But other than that, she don't get that man no shine, and I respect it, because if somebody do you dirty, you leave them where they at. You don't wake up them demons. You leave them there. Okay, so I respect it, but come on now, Eve. If you gonna write about your life story, the people want to know. The people want to know all of it. I wanted to hear the story about you telling Keisha Cole that you didn't want to be her friend no more because she slapped somebody for you. I wanted to hear that story, even though I know it because Keisha Cole told it out of her mouth. I wanted you to talk about it. I wanted to know why Keisha Cole slapped that girl. And what did you do when she slapped her? Did you just stand there? Did you be like, get her? Like, what did you say? I wanted to know. But, I mean, she kept it really cute, really classy. She talked about how she got a lot of backlash from choosing to marry a Caucasian man, and how people just automatically assumed because he was a millionaire that's why she married him, not knowing that she too is a millionaire, and so she touched on, you know, being a stepmom to his children, and she touched on, you know, being a mom, a new mom, and she talked about like the TV shows that she was on, her relationship with the Rough Riders. It was cute, but you know, it was just cute. Okay, moving on, because if I don't move on, I'm gonna say something rude. So, okay, so next up, you guys know, God, you guys know I read Isaac's song. Golly, I'm not. Y'all, I read. I'm thinking about that video I just posted of me yesterday, crying. Lord. Y'all will never see me. I'm lying. Y'all will never see me cry on this channel again. I'm lying. So yeah, I don't know if I really did. I'll be thinking about like the video I did yesterday, and I'm like, damn, I really hope I talked about the book enough, and it wasn't just like me just talking about my own personal experiences and crying. Like, I hope they really got to understand like Isaac's journey through me talking about the things that he went through. Okay, so if you want to know what Isaac's song is about, you can watch the video I posted yesterday. It's very emotional, and we won't revisit that. I do remember the other vision that I had that I was telling you guys about. Once the camera went off, it came back to me or whatever. But it was about forgiveness. The other vision that I told you guys I couldn't remember, it was about forgiveness and how I've been mentally keeping people in their own personal prisons that I have issues with, but I still communicate with, and I act like everything's okay, but deep down I'm holding a grudge with them for certain things, and I keep them in their personal prisons, and I come visit, and you know, I keep them at arm's reach because I'm afraid if I let you out your little cell, you're gonna hurt me again. So that was the other vision, and I had to, you know, walk myself through that process of just releasing them mentally and telling myself that it's okay if they hurt me again, because people are going to be people. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't keep people at a distance because you're not really ultimately allowing them to love you fully. When you just keep people in your life, but you don't keep them close enough to allow them to embrace you and take all of you in. And it's scary because once people hurt you, it's just like, okay, I gotta take a step back because I don't trust you. But if you want to really truly live a life of forgiveness and love, you gotta let them out. Open the cell. Allow them to hurt you. They might. But if you love them, now I'm not talking about these hoochies and hoochie daddies. Now, you walking around getting hurt by a Negro with dusty Converse, I'm not talking about that. Let him go. If you walk around letting some skis hurt you, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about the people in your life who you really cherish, like your family, friends that you've had. And I'm not saying like hold on to them if they really hurt. If they really hurting you, let it go. But I'm saying if it's just like a little miscommunication and, you know, some things were said, but they're still in your life because you told them you forgave them, but you ain't really fully forgave them. That's what I'm talking about. Let them people out. Allow them to be in your life fully, and just let the memories of what they did slowly drift away if it wasn't that deep. So yeah, moving on. I don't know how I got there. Beautiful Ugly by Alice Finney. And this is another arc. Isaac's song is an arc. It comes out January 14th. Beautiful Ugly is also an arc. It comes out January 14th as well. The production of this arc was beautiful. It was very engaging. Macmillan Audio sent me the ARC, and y'all, it had wind sounds, it had little knocking, it had voice acting from one particular person, but she did a really good job. Some parts were slow, I will say that, but you just gotta power through. You gotta power through to get to the end, because the twist was really good. I was not expecting that at all. And then, you know, some parts you start to really question, like, is this happening? Is he hallucinating? What's going on? So basically the story is about our main male character, Grady Green. He's an author, and he has a moment where he is on the phone with his wife, and he's telling her some wonderful news, and all of a sudden he hears, you know, or she's telling him like, oh, I see something, I need to, you know, help this person, blah, blah, blah. And she never comes back to the phone. She just goes missing. And he spends months and months grieving the loss of his wife, because he doesn't know if she's out there in the world still alive or not, you know? And like I say, he's an author, so his manager is like, you know, maybe you need to go to Scotland or Ireland, I don't know, whatever the hell wherever she sent him. She sent him somewhere on this island to kind of write and just get away. And he's like, perfect, because my money is running out and I'm losing my mind behind my wife being missing. While he's there on this island, he sees somebody and it looks like his wife, but he wasn't sure. So yeah, I did an ARC taste test. So if you want to hear the first chapter for that, go to that video. I do have a playlist for all my ARC test tastes, and yeah, check it out. It was cool. Push through, I will say that, and it was good. Okay, so next up, damn, I got 3 books left, y'all. Okay, so next up we have Memphis. Memphis is like a family drama, a little historical fiction tied in there. I gave this 4 stars. The mama pissed me off because I really wasn't feeling how she just was not truly protecting her children. Because it's some decisions she made that I'm just like, girl, as a mother, I could never. But basically, we have a mom and her children. They are not necessarily on the run, but the mom, she leaves her husband because he's abusive. And she goes back to, you know, living with her family, and they're dysfunctional as well. So check it out. It's gonna irritate your spirit a little bit, but it was cool. Okay, I feel like the overall message that I received from that book was just basically, sometimes you're the one that has to break the generational curse. You're gonna have to be the one to do the unthinkable or do what others think you can't. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes you're the one. And then next up, I read You Better Watch Out, which was a thriller. I did an ARC taste test for this one as well. But with this ARC taste test, I kind of combined all 4 of the ARC taste into one. This was like October. I did this, and I was like, oh, that was a long ass ARC taste test. Like, and this one was like at the end, so I don't even know if everybody really stuck around for that, because I'm like, it was a long ass video. I ain't gonna even cap. But this book was really good. It was giving Jigsaw. So if you watch Jigsaw, then you kind of understand the idea of the story. Basically, people are waking up in an unknown, you know, location, and they're trying to figure out how they got there, why they're there. And all the while throughout the story, there are certain deaths being orchestrated. And the people that end up there, they're trying to figure out how to get out. So I gave it 4 stars. It was a really quick listen because I did the audio. It was like 5 hours, so it wasn't a bad listen at all. You know, very gory, very like not necessarily shocking, but just like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? Like the anticipation was just like, oh God, you know. So it was cool. Actually, I think, oh yeah. That was it. That was the last one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think I've sat up here long enough. Y'all enjoy y'all day. I will be back tomorrow. Leave me a comment. Okay, which one sound the most interesting to you? Have you read any of these? What are you excited for this holiday season? And I will talk to you tomorrow.